Good evening, viewers. Welcome to ShowBiz Movement. I'm your host, Boba Toure, commonly known as JT. With me here, I have an Africa jazz singer, Anthony Everest, as my guest. Anthony, welcome to ShowBiz Movement,
Thank
my
you,
brother.
bro. I thought you were lying. You won't have me on your show.
You know, I'm definitely gonna bring you in, bro, after your performance on that day. Trust me, I loved it, man. Welcome to my show, and it's an honor for me to host you today, brother.
Thank
so
you.
nice,
Thank
nice
you
to come
so
again.
much. It was only last weekend, right?
Yeah.
And I'm already here. Hey,
Yeah.
you work fast, though.
That's good. So, Anthony, because you're African jazz singer, which is quite unusual to see an Afrobeat. People are doing Afrobeat now. You choose to do jazz. So, I want to start by, when you come to my show, you get to understand that it's about your music journey. It's all about your music and how you get into the music, how you choose your line when it comes to the musical industry. So, I want to start by, how did you get into jazz as an African artist?
Ooh, interesting. How do I get into jazz? I think good jazz music. Oh God, I don't want to get into trouble now. Okay, jazz music usually has. There a lot of people who listen to jazz tend to be very accomplished musicians. They're very, very good. And jazz can be very, very complex or can be simplified. But for me, it's the mood of jazz and the kind of people who played jazz, plus the kind of stories behind them. It's like life imitating art. So if you go through people like Frank Sinatra, who was part of the Rat Pack, they kind of like allegedly gangsters. And then you have Billie Holiday, who, one of my favorite singers, who wrote songs like God Bless the Child and had a very sad life. He was a prostituted by her mother allegedly when she was a little girl. And so many, I mean, if you go Ella Fitzgerald or I know, even Fela, he did a bit of Afro jazz. They tend to be people who have told great stories through their music, and it stood the test of time, and they become jazz standards, and they're timeless. They're still relevant till today. And when you see somebody who is just starting out, or a very young musician who's already referencing a catalog or body of work of people who have covered most jazz contemporary or standards, so to speak, now then you know that this music is just growing and has a life of its own. But for me personally, when I was discovering music, my heart drew to jazz because it's old school and very retro, and I think as a jazz musician, particularly those guys, the older they got wiser, so they had a bit of life. So when they write songs for them or they write their own songs, they can emote and put their life stories into it. So you can hear things from, like, when you're having a conversation with your grandmother or your mother or your auntie, so you can learn so much from it. So I took out probably about half a decade just studying, I would buy collection CDs. You know, I'll go to one of these charity shops where I'll find like a box set of jazz, volume 1, 2, 3 of the art. I'll get it for like £3. So that's how I was able to have a body of work of jazz artists. And I just love the mood, the feel, the tempo. Coming from church, I could relate worship music to some jazz music, whether it's swing or bebop or whatever kind of jazz, ballads. I always felt that the mood always took me back to church. So maybe that's getting close to your answer. And it may be contemplative, it may be reflective, and it may be wanting to sing like that. But I think when I tore my larynx at 21, long story, and I lost my record deal. I signed a contract that God told me not to do, and I did. Within 1 week, I tore my larynx, and I couldn't sing for a very long time. I was frustrated about my amazing voice that was not allowing me to sing anymore, so I started writing songs, and then I had to go and retrain. I went back to music school, and when I retrained, I started singing more towards the jazz, soulful end, people like Billie Holiday and Ella. So I wasn't putting too much pressure on my vocal cords, but just enough to just get the words and the music out. I was really frustrated because I could sing most genres before. I still can, but I just tried to take it easy. So I did a lot of counseling and training, and they said, that's how you used to sing, but this is how you sing now. And I had to stick with it, because if I I struggled to get maybe like 70% of my voice back, and I was just quite happy to just stay where I am now and enjoy. But occasionally, when the Holy Ghost takes over, you just start seeing me singing rock or something like that, or Sheena Peters, I don't know.
Anyway, that's quite incredible because the reason why, because you're an Afro, you're an African, and I know we got jazz legend like Fela Kuti do jazz as well.
Yeah.
So you portraying jazz as an African artist in the UK.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like very challenging for you.
Very.
Yeah. That's my next question. Are you competing with the Afrobeat part of it and your music? How you feeling? What are the challenges are you facing for you when you're on stage and with this Afrobeat artist? So how you get to stand out all the time like this?
Ooh, that's a very interesting one. So usually they'll say, "Oh, you're slow. Do upbeat music. People want to dance." And I had that for so long. Even friends, they think they're helping me, but they don't realize they're frustrating me. First of all, I had to realize that I've been through a lot as a musician. I started when I was 7, like I was saying earlier, that I was a child star on NTA Kaduna Children's Television Workshop in Nigeria. So I've always been in showbiz for a very long time, and I sang in church. But professionally, my voice and style lends towards jazz more than anything naturally. That's what you just hear. So in terms of competing, I've had to accept something called purpose, knowing your purpose and listening to your higher self. And even if I do other things, even my mother tells me, she said, your music is, you should be doing music therapy. Like mothers always know best. Like,
yeah, I know.
Because when I did my first project, everybody would hear, they would say, "Who is that? Who is that?" I did a project called Follow Your Dreams, which was I thought I was going to die then. I just did that project just for posterity, but it happened I didn't die. And but when anybody heard the body of work I did then, they'd be like, "Who is this?" So she always told me, "You stop running around in clubs, and that's not you. That this is you. That you should go and work with kids, with hospital." And when you hear that my music helps autistic kids sleep, and even me when I'm depressed, I go listen to some of my songs like Follow Dreams. It changes my mood. I realize that there's power in what I'm doing, and I have to be responsible. It's a gift. I have to find its place and not compare myself with other people. Because every time I did, funny enough, my new EP coming out, Oblivion, I was trying so hard because they would say, you have to do up-tempo music and blah, 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 I'll book you, but you have to do up-tempo music. So I thought, okay, right, I'm going to go do Afrobeat. So I said, okay, I was kidding myself, I'm going to do Afrobeat gospel. So I went to the studio with this white boy, he's never done Afrobeat before, and we were trying. I had this song, what was that song? I can't even remember. It's amazing, but there's nobody like Jesus. There's nobody like Jesus. There's nobody like Jesus. And His amazing grace. So we were trying to do that Afrobeat. I have actually the original version, just my laid back thing on YouTube. So I played to her. I said, let's make this Afrobeat. We tried, it wasn't working. So when I played to my manager, she said, that's not you. She said, that's not you. So I realized no matter where I tried to force myself into, it wasn't me. But when I just do me, people get it, regardless of who they are. That song that even If You Need Me that we played, that wasn't the song I was booked to sing. That
Really?
jazz one. No, I was booked to do a pop tune called Emptiness, which is from my first album, Follow Your Dreams. That's what my contract was meant to do. But when we sound checked it just didn't, talking about purpose and focus and listen to higher self, something was missing. And I knew it wasn't quite right. And then I said, please let me try If You Need Me, which is my Christmas single on Oblivion EP. And I said, and I made excuse, in case somebody doesn't turn up or somebody drops out or there's a gap somewhere you need to fill. And we sound checked it, and then they said that's very good, that's much better. And before we knew it, the DJs replayed that tune, the full vocal track. They played it 3 times while we were like setting up and preparing the room. That's when I knew, okay, right, talk about purpose. Just be yourself and don't worry about what other people are doing, because if you're made to be reproducing 60 folds, that's what your capacity is, and that's your calling. If you're designed to be producing a million times fold, That's what you're meant to be doing. And sometimes when you transfer both, your purpose goes out of sync because you don't have the capacity, you don't have the innate ability to understand why you're meant to be there. We all are designed for different purposes. My aunt is a psychologist. She tells me, like, she's an industrial psychologist, that she can only talk to corporate people and companies, but she couldn't do one-on-one psychology. And now she can't do it because that's what she's trained to do. So I've learned that just be yourself and everything else will follow.
Oh, that's a good one, you know. You know, sometimes I always say to people, Anthony, because when you do things that makes you happy, even as a musician, you've done your music, and you think that music is not good enough for your own taste, trust me, you'll never release it. You will never release it because within yourself, you're thinking it's not you. But I'm going to get back to you regarding what you just say. You done that music and you're thinking, nah, your manager said to you, it's not you, because he knows you more. He knows what you can deliver. And for me, the performance on that night, it was a very great performance. And mainly people are eating, they're relaxing. Not all the time we need to, of course we like to dance. Don't get me wrong, I like to dance. But sometimes listen to music, listen to words, kind of makes sense. And that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I think that's
you're
my
great,
purpose.
brother. So never change that, never change.
My head is swelling. Please, don't make it fall off.
No, it's good. So I'm gonna get the next question is regarding performances. This year. Let's talk about your award this year first. Just this year, how this year has been for you so far in your musical journey?
Wow, I can't lie to you. This year has been my best year, I think. In terms of recognition, this is definitely my best year. Considering up to summer, I thought everything was falling apart. I had a horrible summer, and I picked up an award in spring, and then summer it all went, south. And then autumn, bam, I'm just like picking awards. I picked up 2 awards in Nigeria, Kaduna, and there's another one in Abuja that, maybe if I show up, because they said if you don't show, I won't give it to you, but they're still asking, do you still want to get this stuff? Awards in London. It's just great, and I'm so thankful that it's my season of winning, because I've had so many seasons of losing and people don't know. Like, we've been working hard. I've been in music for almost 20 years. Like, my first release was 2009, but I've been writing since 1999. My first track was How Is Life with Henley Simpson, good friend of mine, that he helped me produce. And then I had through all this drama, and I came back, and still learning to find what I'm meant to be doing and stick to it. So I just feel that this year has just been so wonderful, and it gives me the motivation to believe in myself and not give up. I know that there are people out there who appreciate, because they always tell you that your destiny is tied to someone else's purpose. Yeah. So if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, someone else is not going to get to where they need to get to. Yes. And I think God is amazing. I believe in God. I just personally, and I believe God is love, and everybody wants to be loved. And you don't have to be the Pope or Mother Mary to understand, because God does His thing one-on-one. I believe that when you align yourself with your heart, with the purpose and where God has placed you to be, things will naturally happen. And it's like sometimes we go through the Israelite journey, and I think I've gone through an Israelite journey, because some things, like even just simple things that people tell me to do that I didn't, just, oh, why didn't I do that before? And now, okay. Like, people told me to do gospel music, and I'm thinking, me, gospel music? Who wants to hear me sing gospel music? And you'll be surprised when I do. If You Need Me, it's not quite gospel, but it's a jazzy, soulful, prayer, contemplative, inspirational, make love lead the way, because everybody wants love. I just feel like now is my season of winning, and these awards are just giving me the impetus to keep going and not give up, no matter how hard there are. I think the fact that some of the awards actually were given because people said that for the fact that I didn't give up.
It's good. It's incredible.
The fact that you did not give up. And that was like, wow. So the fact that you did not give up inspires somebody else that in Africa, my friend said there could be some kid in Africa and I watch and say, wow, you know, I could do that. But then I look at some of my friends that I started with, even some of my friends, I look at the Facebook page and I'm like, wow, you have like 1 million followers and we saw the same thing. I'm on like some 50 something thousand and somebody's hacking my page. But it's not about comparing. It's about you do what you're supposed to be doing. And make sure you're doing it well, because you're all going to be accountable. You don't know what someone else is doing to get 1 million thousand followers or have 10 million pounds in the bank. And my lawyer used to tell me that if Coca-Cola told you what they put inside Coca-Cola, do you think you would still drink it? I'm like, if they really, really told you what they put inside it. So it's about just what you see me put out, if you connect with this, because it's just come out of, I've just tore it out from my soul and I just get it. I do it, I write it, and I worry about what people are saying later. Sometimes I doubt myself and I get really scared. I will say something or write something, I will delete, so no, I can't say that. And sometimes I've tried to delete stuff I've done, I can't delete and so I'm in trouble. Later I see people now get it, right. Or even things I've done, I've written 10 years ago or 8 years ago, they come up on my timeline and people say, oh, that's really good. And then they realize, oh, you did that so long ago and it's still relevant. So for me, I'm just grateful to be here.
It's good, man. Really appreciate that. You know, this is how we talk about showbiz movement. We get to bring your favorite artists closer to you. Anthony here is just telling you about his musical journey and the great year he has so far. And he picked up an award again on Friday. Wow! So at the Panach African ceremony. So that's the. To be honest with you, as you can hear from the man himself here, he have a great year so far. So after all the falls, and he's here to explain about his music journey. For you to know how amazing this man is, we're going to drop one of his live performances. What music was you performing?
I think
Child of God.
God Bless the Child.
God Bless the Child.
Billie Holiday's songs.
He's performing on the stage because he don't do video because he's a live performer. He's performing God Bless the Child in a live performance. So can you watch that video and see how amazing this man's voice is? So can you please play God Bless the Child, please, by Billie Holiday, and Anthony is taking the stage for us. Can you drop it, please? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
DJ Maestro. DJ Heritage. Cool.
Hello.
No.
So my name is Anthony Everest. I'm a writer, musician, and a blogger. I'm ripping apart religious fanatics at the moment. Anything to do with bad religion, I'm like, And I did some research then, it was really good. And I found a story in the Bible where Jesus went to eat with some Gentiles and tax collectors. And they came after him saying that, oh, why is your master, they told Matthew, that why is your master doing, And then he said, if someone is sick, it's people who are sick who need a physician, that he's about compassion and not about sacrifice. And I thought, yeah. So I copied and posted on Facebook and I sent to all these haters. I think it was Matthew 9:7-13. Anyway, other than that, I'm gonna try and sing you this song, God Bless the Child. It's gonna be like a fuck around version, obviously, because it's not rehearsed. Man's God shall get, and none shall lose. So the Bible says, and still it is news. Oh, Mama may have, while the Papa may have. God bless the child. That's God is all. That's God is all. The strong gets more, while the weak ones fade. ever may have. Yeah. God, oh, bless the child. Bless God. That's God is on.
Thank you very much for watching that video by Anthony Everest. That is an amazing performance. Your voice is quite lovely, man. Trust me. You know one thing I like about that setting, the fact that the guitarist and the pianist, they're just at the light and you're just at the corner. All they can hear is that beautiful voice coming out of you. You know what I mean? So I don't know how did you do that setup? Did you plan that setup or it just happened like that?
It just happened. I just sat in the corner. Actually, you know what? Oh God, Phil is the guy on the piano. I've forgotten that guy on the bass player. They're all amazing musicians. Like Phil has done Top of the Pops. Phil and I have kind of like a love-hate relation. He likes to play God Bless the Child in A flat, and I like to sing it in E flat. So sometimes I will say I want to do E flat, and then he will start playing A flat. So I'll be like in my head, I'll be transposing in my head. Okay. So. But it works out in the end because he's amazing and I'm amazing in my own way. So sometimes it's like too loud. But so I think part of me in that shadow is not wanting to be confrontational. Okay, just play the damn song. I just want to sing and let me get out of here kind of thing. So is the mood is yeah, God bless the child who's got his own. Like, you know, one day I'm gonna have my own kind of a thing. Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't planned. Most of the stuff I do is just in the moment. If I plan things, I can never sing the same phrase twice anyway. And I don't even claim to be the greatest vocalist, but I know I have tone, I can write, I can rearrange. And when I stay true to my purpose and my calling, my gifts, and I don't try to get ahead of myself, compare myself with somebody else, if I just stay in my own lane, I do pretty well and deliver what I'm purposed to do. That's the hardest part, not getting your ego. When there's too much ego trying to impress, there's some amazing singers, but sometimes they over-sing. You can under-sing as well, but you can over-sing and people just, people don't get the message you're trying to give to them. You want people to believe you and take on a journey. And if you're vulnerable, people will find you endearing and they're most likely to respond rather than, yeah, I've got a great voice, so what, yeah, I'm going to sing, you're going to listen to me kind of a thing. It doesn't always work. So for me, I like to be vulnerable and tell my truth and tell how I'm really feeling. And I try to choose songs based on how I'm feeling as well. So that helps me deliver more. So me being in that shadow is kind of like me trying to get out of my shadows, really. And I've looked at it back. We couldn't play everything, but people can go on YouTube and find it. The whole performance is there. I always feel like, yeah, that's quite interesting. It wasn't planned and it just worked out. It was in Haggerston.
That's good. That's good. So now I just want to ask you another question again. Because of course you've won 8 awards this year. So being that you're live on Heritage TV, I would like to ask you if you got any message to your fans out there, because it's time for you to say thank you to them, or it's time for you to honor them, like, because they've been, because as you said, the starting of the year, it was very, so this is your camera, you can message to your fans out there.
Oh, I want to say, okay, first I want to thank God Almighty and for my mommy for giving me life. And mom's no best, she's always right. I want to say thank you to all the fans who've supported me. Sorry, excuse me, old and new. I want to say thank you to my management. I want to say thank you to my friends, to promoters, old and new, bookers, stylists, DJs, or music supervisors, agents, publicists. It would be a criminal to mention names in case I drop anybody out, but I would say Helen Acting Productions, you're my rock. I would say thank you to Panache, thank you to Kafas, thank you to Gab Awards, thank you to, oh gosh, I can't remember all the awards. I know there's so many, Nellas, BBI. So many people give me great opportunities. Even just for nominating me alone, I'm so grateful. America, Nigeria, it's just been wonderful. And just please keep supporting, share the music, follow the social media. You can get my music on iTunes. Follow me on social media at Anthony Everest or at Aremuorin if you're down with the African thing. On Facebook, Instagram. Love, love, love from my heart. And without you, there's no music.
That is one of the, oh my God, that message is just clear and well. Your fans, I believe your fans, they receive that message and they will appreciate that's coming from the man himself, the Africa jazz singer Anthony Everest. And by the way, Anthony is gonna come back here next time. He's gonna do performance for us. Right now, he's not feeling well because he's got a little bit of cold that he would have performed for us live at the studio. But guess what, viewers? I'm gonna bring him back, so he's gonna do a performance for us here next time. So as you all know, Showbiz Movement is all about bringing out your eyes closer to you and bringing your events closer to you as well. And this weekend is gonna be a lot of event going on as we all building up to the Family United event. Next to come is going to be Lollipop here live on Heritage TV representing Family United. And don't forget, each and every Friday and Saturday, place to be Club Ruby Lounge, which is in Old Kent Road, back of the KFC. They're having a big bonanza weekend again this year, so come there and support them. And we got Saturday, and as you can see the flyers on the screen, we got Saturday and we got Friday, and we got something called Saucy Sunday at Club Ruby Lounge. So come looking for somewhere to go, formerly called KFC. So come and support them. And with that, we got Queen Maggie as well coming up at Club Nollywood, Sexy Night. So come support, and this is Saucy Sunday. It's all about Ruby Lounge as well. So come support the team, and Lollipop is gonna be here next. So for me now, and my beautiful guest here, Mr. Anthony Everest, we're gonna say bye for now, but next to come, Lollipop is gonna be on the stage. See you, bye.
I sit through my pain, as there is no one to blame. If only I could find a way to realize my life is not a play. And who is to say?
Wake the streets up.
Bó ti yá gbogbo aláyẹyẹ pẹ̀lú ní pàtì àti ilé ìjọsìn ẹ fẹ́ ṣe polówó. Heritage TV Heritage TV
wọ́n bẹ nílùú London o.
Heritage TV
wọ́n fọwọ́ wọn sọ̀yà o.
Heritage TV.
ẹ̀yin aráàlú London ǹjẹ́ ẹ ti gbọ́ pé iléeṣẹ́ Heritage TV tún ti gbé àrà tuntun yọ o. gbogbo àríyá yín pátápátá la ó máa bá yín polongo rẹ̀ jákèjádò gbogbo ayé ká máa ṣayẹyẹ ní London ká sì máa wò l'Amẹ́ríkà ní Nàìjíríà àti káàkiri àgbáyé lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ àti lójú kan náà bó jẹ́ lórí fídíò tàbí lórí photograph tó mọ́lẹ̀ yékéyéké Heritage TV ní bàbá o. gbogbo àwọn ayẹyẹ yín bí ọjọ́ ìbí ìsìnkú àgbà ìgbéyàwó àjọ̀dún ilé ìjọsìn yín Heritage Television ní kẹ́ ẹ máa bọ̀ tààràtà ìlú London la wà United Kingdom la tẹ̀dó sí ẹ kàn sí wa lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ yìí 020-800-46-100 tàbí lórí ẹ̀rọ alátagbà wa ayẹyẹ@heritagetv.co.uk àti lórí ẹ̀rọ alágbèéká 0734-123-4560. Heritage TV àbálẹ̀tù ọmọdé làwó.